Jimmy Butler out with a torn ACL. Robert Saleh leaves the 49ers and is getting a head coaching job with the Titans. And is OKC still considered an all-time team? Let's dive in. So obviously the devastating news with Jimmy Butler is going to be my first topic in this segment called Top of the Dome, fresh off the dome. And as a Golden State Warriors fan, it's really devastating. And honestly, players were carrying him off the court and he was smiling. And I was thinking the way the injury looked, it kind of looked like a hyperextending of the knee, but that's not what it was. It was actually a torn ACL. And a lot of people are saying that because they're 49ers in attendance at the game that they jinxed it. And they brought the germs from that weird plant thing that they got out at Santa Clara. But this really does alter the Warriors season. While, in my opinion, we were hanging on to a glimmer of hope to maybe ride out this season and get in the play in, even though the Warriors were kind of turning it around and making positive strides because Brandon Podemsky has been playing good for the past couple weeks. Jimmy, after he made that whole "we're mediocre" comment, he has really started to come into his own. Horford isn't playing that bad, and all of these positive things are all we have left to look at besides Jimmy playing good, with that negative thing hanging over the franchise, which is the Jonathan Kuminga situation, which I vowed not to make another video about, but this is an ingredient since Jimmy Butler went down. To me, it kind of ramps up. What do you do without Jimmy now? And my opinion, you go straight for Jonathan Kuminga and you play him the same minutes that you play Jimmy. Because the big argument was when the Warriors acquired Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga was injured, and they said that they're kind of like the same two type of players. So one could be in, but the other couldn't. And with whatever rift that Steve Kerr got with Jonathan Kuminga, that has to be put on the back burner because the Warriors need Jonathan Kuminga right now. If you want to go the other way, just trade him as soon as possible, get what you can for him so we could put the focus back on the season. In the game on Tuesday against the Raptors, Jonathan Kuminga was finally put in and he soared. Really did good, and he's catching alley-oops from Draymond Green and he's got a smile on his face, and you really got to give him credit. This has been a hard situation and he has really come out of it smelling like roses a little bit. He could have went the whole other direction, but he didn't. And now that a big piece, Jimmy Butler, has went down, Kaminga has to be the key ingredient besides Steph. And in my opinion, I want him starting. Why wouldn't you? Who else do you got in that starting lineup that's going to help Steph and take some of the pressure off of Steph? Because that's what acquiring Jimmy Butler really did to Steph. Because to me, Steph was looking old and worn out before we got Jimmy Butler. So who's going to help Steph Curry out in that facet, or who can right now? It's Jonathan Kuminga. So start him and just get stuff rolling, at least for the next 2 weeks. If you end up wanting to trade him, it's been a long journey, and I guess just do it. But you got to see what you have with Jonathan Kuminga. And if anything else, this is your asset that you're trying to trade. So why not showcase him in the next 2 weeks and see these teams start to perk up and be, yeah, we'll offer you this, blah, blah, blah. He needs to play. And that's kind of the aftermath of the Jimmy Butler injury is they need to play Jonathan Kuminga. Steve Kerr needs to stop being a stubborn old fart